Nicole, and welcome to a very special episode of Animal Kiddom. I'm here outside of Yellowstone National Park at a wildlife sanctuary where grizzly bears and wolves and other animals can come live out their lives, especially if they're sick or injured or need to be rehabilitated or can't be re-released into the ecosystem. So today we're going to talk about grizzly bears, and they are so cool. So one of the things that makes grizzly bears extra special is they are huge. So they're much bigger than black bears. They can be up to 700 pounds, the males. And even though they're that big, they can climb trees. They can run up to 40 miles per hour, so even faster than the bison we talked about. And obviously, if they're climbing trees and they're 700 pounds, the tree has to be big enough to hold their weight. So, you know, it depends on the type of tree they try to climb, but they can swim. You may see the ones behind me going in and out of a pond. They're so cool and so fun. Now, one of the really cool, interesting things about grizzly bears and all bear species is that they hibernate for the winter. So remember how we talked about brumation with reptiles, how they may sleep through the winter? That's what bears do. And what's cool about bears is it depends on the species of bear, how long they hibernate, and where in the world they live. So in Mexico, for example, you may have a bear that hibernates for only, a few days to a few weeks, whereas when you get up north to Alaska where it's really cold, they can hibernate for over 6 months. So they sleep that entire time. They don't go to the bathroom, they don't eat, they don't do anything. So what happens to help them get prepared for that is they will take on food, so they'll eat a lot in autumn. It's what we call hyperphagia. So they eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, and they can gain up to 3 pounds a day. So they basically make a fat layer on their body so that they can absorb those nutrients throughout the winter. And they make a den for themselves, and they can make a den within a week. So they basically dig a den in sandy soil underneath, like at the base of a tree, and then they put spruce boughs and other plants in there to help keep them warm through the winter. And their metabolism drops by 50 to 60%, and their heart rate drops, their breathing drops. So normally they may breathe 6 to 10 breaths per minute, but when they're hibernating, they breathe once every 45 seconds. And during that time, they may lose 15 to 30% of their body weight, but they live off those fat stores they accumulated. Now, one of the extra really cool things about bears is that the moms, they give birth once a year, usually to 2 cubs. They do it when they're hibernating. So they're semi-conscious for the birth. They're not even fully awake when they give birth to their own babies. And the babies continue to nurse for the next month or 2 while the mom's sleeping. Now, I know all the human moms out there are like, how can I be a bear? I want to sign up for that. It sounds like a pretty good deal. So then by the time the bears emerge from the den in the spring, the cubs have already opened their eyes, they've developed teeth, so then they can start foraging and eating the same food that the mom would eat. Now, with bears, they're what we call generalized omnivores. So they can eat a lot of different things. They can eat rodents, insects, roots, berries, grasses. They can eat elk and other large animals. And then during some times of year, if food is scarce, they can go to higher elevations and eat moths. So moths are actually a really cool, important part of their diet, where they find these boulder fields, and these army moths, cutworm moths, come in and hide under the boulder fields, and the bears overturn these boulders and can eat 40,000 moths in a day, grizzly bears. 40,000, can you believe that? And that can be 20,000 calories for them in one day, just eating moths. And then other times of the year, they'll eat baby elk and, like I said, roots and grasses and all sorts of other things. So they're really cool species that have all these very unique things to them, and bears in general are cool and have unique things like hibernation. So that's the main things I wanted to talk about with grizzly bears. The only other thing that's probably really interesting is that their claws are a little bit different from black bears, where they can actually dig out insects from trees. They can help them dig rodents out of the ground and dig different shrubs and roots. And that's the main kind of differences between grizzly bears and black bears that I wanted to talk about in this short video. But I hope you guys are enjoying watching the ones behind me, and that you guys have a great rest of your day. And I'm going to try to bring you some other cool videos here from Yellowstone National Park. Thanks everyone, bye!